Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel, Handmade by Ying with Donna. Today is September the 8th, 2023, and it's 10 o'clock p.m. I have a very special guest with me tonight, and her name is none other than Amy Dement. Amy, welcome to my channel.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's a privilege and an honor to have you on my channel.
Oh, you're too kind. Like, for real.
So for those that don't know, I'm going to skip the chat and I'm just going to go straight into talking to you for a couple seconds.
All right.
My phone.
I don't have a way to see the chat. I don't have another monitor to log in.
Let me do it real quick.
Say if you can just relay for me.
Yeah. Sean, the guy who says good evening. Linda Faust. Hi, Donna, Joe, and everyone. Candy is Detroit's in the house. Gloria Butler. Hi, Donna, Ying, Joe, and everyone from Elizabethtown, Tennessee. Sean's
I know Elizabethtown.
Yeah, how cool. Dead-free Quilters in the house. Sheila Fudge is in the house. Donna from Texas is represented. Welcome, welcome. Janine is in the house. She's one of my moderators. Sean is a moderator. I'm looking forward to seeing your guest tonight. Should be fun. Absolutely. Rebel is in the house. Melody, hello, Donna, Joe, and everyone. Let me skim. Hello, Sheila, Donna, Melody, everyone's talking. Sorry if I missed someone. I'm winding skeins of yarn. Sean must be helping his wife. Candy is in the house. Let me see. Candy, yes, winding yard for my wife, who is a knitter. Way to go, Sean. Gloria Butler, not feeling well, so I can't type. Not ignoring anyone. Gloria, you take care of you first. The rest will come.
Yeah, I saw Gloria say that on Becca's chat. I hope you're feeling better soon.
Absolutely. I hate to see her down. Teresa Louise is in the house, and she's also one of my moderators. Candy, okay, Sean, I crochet, but not knits. Kudos to anybody that does anything with yarn. It's not in my wheelhouse. I just can't do it. I've tried. Greenland Quilters in the house. Good day, Amy and Donna. Let me see. Cat Gallery's in the house.
Now I want to see the chat. So give me just a second. I'm going to mute and pop off camera for just a minute and grab my husband's computer.
All right.
All right.
So anyway, for those that don't know, Amy is new to YouTube. I'm saying new, within the last few months. She was a subscriber turned YouTuber, and we're going to get a little bit of the behind the scenes on a little bit of her life. The quilt that you do see behind her is going to be our sew along. And as you can see, she used a real scrappy background. We'll talk to her about that as well. That really stands out and looks really adorable. So I think it's going to be cute in the end to see what we all come up with. I'll be doing the mini bow on one side. I'm going to do a two-sided quilt. One side's going to be Minnie and one side's going to be Mickey. Instead of the bow and the hair, Mickey's going to have a little bow tie. So it should prove to be interesting and prove to be a lot of fun. I'm not seeing your stars in the top of yours. Did you omit them?
I did. I left the stars out. I can't leave well enough alone. And so it's like I start with a pattern and then I
tweak it.
I end up sort of close.
Just the template. Yep, you do what you want to do. Donna, Handmade by Ying, you did great when you tried knitting. You should give yourself some credit. I do. I have a nice washcloth. And for that, Sean, your wife was amazing and patient. Candace, I received a package today from Donna, and thank you. You're welcome. A lot of packages have went out in the last week and a half. We've got 2 more little giveaways, and I'll see how the night goes. If our chat numbers go up, we will go ahead and run a raffle later. But for right now, we'll see how it builds. I just found Amy this week on YouTube. Love her content. Slow and
Thank
steady,
you
and
so
she's gonna get
much.
there. She is gonna get there. I made the Minnie Mouse quilt, big bow and all. So much fun. Sheila, thank you. You'll have to post a picture over in my Handmade by Ying share group. That would be fabulous to see. I love to see what everybody comes up with. Jane, good evening, everyone. So nice to see you, Miss Donna. It's nice to see you as well. Let me see. I'm just doing a quick skim so we can get to talking. So I'm going to show two quilts real quick,
You
and
bet.
then I'm going to get busy. My Sew It Seams group has been fabulous. The last several months, we've been working on these charity blocks, is what we're calling them, and we've dubbed them. And we pulled from this card deck boxes, and we would assign 12 blocks to our Sew It Seams group, and they would make them. We picked different people. If you had a long arm, basically you were chosen, and the blocks would be mailed to you. So far we've got 4 months in, and this is one of the 4. And I finished it up today, and we made it a little bit scrappier because when you're working with a lot of people do get busy with life and they can't do. So we filled in a few, but this is a small quilt, wheelchair quilt per se. So
Oh,
this
that's
one,
wonderful.
it's really cute and really scrappy. It's done in the red, white, and blue. And this will be going to a nursing home this coming week and be donated to one of our veterans. And
I love those half and half stars.
I love those. I found that on a Facebook feed one day, and I was like,
That's
that will be
great.
really, really cute. So our Sew It Seams group really nailed it this time. And I'm waiting for the other quilts so that we can see how they all came together. Everybody was assigned a color, and it was either red and white or blue and whites. And I'm waiting to see how they all turned out. So it's just fun when you're sewing with friends and a good plan comes together. So this one will be going out. I have a card by our Sew It Seams group, and it will go along with the quilt. And I won't be able to give the name of whom it goes to because that's just not, I can just tell you the nursing home that it'll be going to once it's been delivered. So this is packaged now, and I did a special little thing there for it. Then last night, Becca was with us hanging out for just a little bit. And I was hung up on my cheetah quilt. What am I going to do? It's been on the long arm now since it was finished. I loaded it the next day, and it's just been hanging out there. So I don't know why. I just, you know how you get mind blocked. A
I
lot
do
of
know.
ideas, too many ideas, going too many different directions. Well, Becca challenged me last night to have it finished by next Monday. And then I said, okay, if you're going to challenge me, girl, I'm challenging you. You've got your Ursula Minor. You got to do it too. So she got off half a day early today. I was already sewing on this, and I was panographing this, and she was home doing matchstick on her Ursula. So we both finished today. And I love it when someone gives me a little challenge, I'll definitely finish it. So on the back, I did the African print because where do cheetahs really come from?
It's
So
beautiful.
she is
Oh,
now finished. And I put leaves,
oh, Donna, that is amazing.
and I did pantograph with Joe's assistance today. I was behind the long arm and he was running the fronts so that I could do the magic in the back.
So that you could get the edge, so you could hit it to the
Yep.
edge. Oh, wow.
Yep. And I really like around the eye. It's so funny. It has a leaf right around the eye, the way it landed. And that was not intentional. That just happened. So
Oh, wow.
I can officially say my cheetah's done and
That's
bound
amazing.
and
And bound.
bound. And I'm a binder. As soon as I cut my quilts, I always do my binding. So
I do too.
I did a really cute edging on it this time. because I really want to enter this one in for QuiltCon. Not saying they'll accept it, but I'd like it to be entered. So we'll see.
Well, the worst they're gonna do is tell you no, thank you. So
Exactly.
you
And I'm
know,
okay
you
with
gotta
that.
try.
Yep. If you don't try, you don't know. So that is now done and off my plate. So thank you, Becca. If you're listening or lurking or in the background somewhere, thank you for that shove. That's just what I needed. I was thinking banana leaves. I was thinking 100 different ideas. And then I had friends giving me ideas and I froze. And I was like, I didn't want to touch it
Too
because I
much
couldn't do
information
it
can
justice.
be as overwhelming as not enough information.
Absolutely.
Oh, uh-oh, why did my speakers change?
So let me see. Yep, Becca told us over there. Yep. Amy, I love your Mickey. Kathleen.
Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Donna, Amy, Techie, Joe, and the whole chat. Marie Johns. Wow, Donna, gorgeous. Beautiful. Susie, hello, sweetheart, and welcome. So I'm really pleased with it. At first, when I pulled it off the long arm, I snapped a picture and sent it to Becca, and I put a little YouTube short. And then as I was watching the short, I could see 2 negative spaces that I wasn't happy with, possibly a third. So I reloaded it after I bound it and got those filled in. I just echoed around the leaves to give it that look I wanted.
Very
Those
cool.
I thought, but by the way, done. And since Dawn, I love the cap. Thank you. So let me ask you a couple questions. We'll just do a little Q&A before I get busy over here.
You bet.
All of my HSTs. So what made you decide to be a YouTuber? And how did you get your channel name? That's what everybody wants to know.
Well, the channel name is just my name. So I really wanted consistency across platforms. You know, I want if people, I've done lectures and stuff before at small guilds in my hometown before I moved to Texas and stuff like that. And so if people wanted to find me, I wanted them to be able to find me. And one of my very good friends, her channel name is her name. And I was like, I kind of like that. And what made me decide to do it, I've been thinking about it for a long time. Oh, since way back in the knitting podcast days when I was doing mainly knitting. So a long time. And, you know, timing and whatnot. And then I was in a small group with this friend who is also a YouTuber. She's a beauty and lifestyle YouTuber. And I was like, oh, I've been thinking about doing this thing. She's like, Amy, you have to do it. I was like, I don't know. She's like, well, what's stopping you? I'm like, abject fear. I'm like, you guys are having so much fun. And I was like, oh God, but I don't know. Maybe I don't have anything to say. One of my knitting friends years ago, she goes like, why don't you have a podcast? You know everything. You could tell people what to do. And I was like, people don't like that.
I like it if one of my subscribers sees on my desk that I'm putting a block in wrong or I've done it wrong before I start joining. I tell you what, it's the biggest blessing for them to say, stop, don't do it.
So, but with the encouragement of my friends in this small group, they're like, no, you should do it. And, you know, Hannah has a lot of experience. And so she's like, I'll mentor you. Let me give you some tips about camera and lighting and titling and the YouTube machine.
Analytics.
You know, the games you have to play to actually fit and, you know, get in the get swept up in the algorithm and for people to notice you. So she gave me a lot of advice. And then I was like, okay, I'm doing it. It may be insane, but I'm doing it. And so it's been really great. It's been 3 weeks and I'm having a blast. So we'll see how it goes from here.
How many weeks have you been at it now?
3.
3 weeks. And how many subscribers do you have? You're going to blow these people away.
Like 1,500.
Is that not freaking amazing?
So
I know I have other friends who have been YouTubing for, say, a couple years, and they're just hitting their 500.
yeah. Well, and
So what makes you stand out different from another YouTuber who's new today?
honestly, I don't know. I know my friend Hannah gave me a couple of shout outs, but her audience is very different than mine. But it really encouraged me the first day because I got a lot of people, doing her a favor by coming to watch me. And that just the first video. And then, I don't know. I quilt differently. I think about quilting a little differently than most people do. I'm not a and not that there's anything wrong with any of these ways of
Right.
quilting, because
Everybody
people
wants their own style.
because I'm like, you put needle to fabric, and I'm it's great, right? I'm really
Right.
glad everybody's here, but I don't, you know, buy a bundle and make everything match. Besides the quilt behind me, but there's a story. There's a story for that one.
We're gonna get
But
there.
I like the weird stuff. I like to dig through, people's half finished projects and random destash and scraps, mostly scraps of anything, and put it together and put my own spin on it. Like I said earlier, I will start with a pattern, but to me it's sort of like a recipe. It's
Yep.
it's a place to start, and then I'm like, well, we don't like jalapenos, so I'm going to use this instead. Or
Right.
I didn't want stars in my quilt because I didn't want to make triangle blocks at the time. So
Yep. I tell you what, it turned out beautiful. It really turned
thank
out
you.
beautiful. I keep staring at it. I'm like, wow.
I love it so much. Now I'll tell you the story about it. I don't do anything real quick, so I may talk too long.
Okay.
But my husband wanted a quilt. I wanted to make this quilt because I love Disney and all things Disney, especially Mickey Mouse. Minnie Mouse is great. She's got the polka dots, which are my favorite,
Right.
but she's also Minnie Mouse, and so Mickey's my favorite. And he wanted a quilt, and he's like, but I want it like heavy and thick. I was like, okay. And I wanted to make this quilt. And we had just been to Hawaii. My father treated us when he sold his house and was retiring. And he's like, I want to go to Hawaii. And I said, okay, I guess we're
Cool.
going to Hawaii. And I still think everything in my life should smell like pineapple.
Oh,
Yeah, I know, right? And this was been 5 years ago. And I was like, okay, well, I want to do it with indigo batik prints and Hawaiian fabrics. But I didn't decide this, like when we were in Hawaii at the quilt shops. No, I
no, that would
decided
make
this
sense.
I decided this several months later when we're home, and I'm like, oh, but I want Hawaiian fabrics for the Mickey part. And I
That would
want,
be me.
and I'm like, and I want them to be from Hawaii. So, I ordered them from Maui Quilt Shop, which, by the way, Maui Quilt Shop is doing phenomenal things
Oh, really?
for the Lahaina fire victims. They're
Oh,
the point place for giving quilts out to people in need.
oh.
It's amazing. But so I ordered the fabrics, paid $32 in shipping to get, and then made this quilt, which is super easy. You got to keep up, make sure you don't get things turned the wrong way, but it's just squares
Did you
and
lay out
triangles.
row by row, or how
I
did you
did
do that?
not. What I did was I had my pattern in PDF Expert on my iPad. And so I took my iPad, my Apple Pencil, and I blocked out, and I was like, okay, like
How many
this
sections do
section,
I want to
like
build?
this section right here was just squares. So I blocked out, and I was like, okay, just make those squares, and then make the 9 patch on the other. I chunked it up with to make it easier to manage in big pieces.
And that makes sense, because then you're not going to get the bowing.
Right.
That's what I was
It
looking
was
at, how to
easier.
break it down.
It was easier to manage in like placemat sized pieces than it was to do long rows and pick all that up. And we have a lot of pets, so I was like, I'm not laying all that out on the floor and having to leave it there for any length of time. It will never happen.
No, it'll be all over.
But it's got double batting. It's got a wool and cotton bat and a cotton bat.
And you live in Texas?
I do now. And it's got Minky on the back.
Ooh.
And it was heavy. It must weigh 8 pounds. And he loves it. He doesn't like to share it. He doesn't like to share it either, which is like not in his nature. He's very much here. Let me give you what's mine. But this quilt, he's like, it's mine. I don't want to share it.
And that's okay. That shows that he loved it.
Yes.
There's
And
nothing
yes,
better
yes.
than a pineapple that was cut from a plant an hour before you eat it. Absolutely.
I know.
I never follow pattern completely. I'm not into cookie cutter. I think we all do that. We look at the pattern and then we tweak it to ourselves. I was telling one of my moderators today and friend that I was looking at it and I'm going to do the mini bow. So if I'm going to make one bow, I'm going to make two, one for Mickey and one for Minnie.
One here. I think it's going to be fantastic.
So the pattern doesn't have it. So I'm just adding one more bow.
And I think that the front and back aspect of yours is going to be really, really charming.
The only thing that I'm hung up on, and I'll pass that once it's completed, is doing the good lineup to where everything lines up. But a couple other quilters have told me how to make it happen by sticking pins through pivotal points when I'm lining it up.
Something you're going to quilt it yourself, correct?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Something you might also do is add just, I hate to say garbage because I think all fabric is good, but just border on the edges so that you can float it into the center.
Yep.
And then you can run off. You don't have to worry about the preciseness on your edges, and then trim the border off when you're
absolutely. And that's no shame in that. I've done that before to where you're just, I call it a fake border because it's coming off.
It's just like leaders, additional leaders for your.
Yep, absolutely. Tracy and the sewing channels in the house, popping in to say hi, and all that colorful Mickey caught my eye. Is that pattern for this? Wowzer, love it. Yes, Tracy, I'm going to be demonstrating this pattern on my channel in a few weeks, and you're not going to want to miss it. It's called Take Me to the Magic. I'll send you the link. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fast sew. Let me get the dates. I want to make sure I got my dates.
And she has some, if you don't want to do a giant pattern, she just released some little guys. Like, really? I don't know if they're 18 inches square or what, but they're the same like Mickey and Minnie, but they're little guys. Yeah,
we're doing it on my channel, Tracy, October the 13th at 6:00 p.m. And it's going to be a 2-day sew. We're doing 6:00 to midnight on the 13th and noon until we finish on the 14th. So come join, sweetheart. I would love to have you. It's going to be just a blast. You know how I am. Let me see. I want to get back to Tracy. Popping in to say hi. I got that. Kathleen Champ, it's been an all experience. Let me see. Mama Harden's in the house. Hello, hello. Can you show your ironing board behind you, Amy? Janet Johnson would like to see that.
Janet, I'd be glad to. This is a splurge purchase. When Casey takes me to Casey's my husband, and he's just the best. Um, Donna, he's like Joe. He's just the best, right?
Yep.
And gonna aggravate me till the day I die, which is awesome. And right, I love it so much. But when we go to shows, he likes to treat me, and
Nothing wrong with that.
somebody tells me all the virtues of this product they're selling, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty neat. And Casey's like, don't you need that? Won't that make your life easier? Isn't that good? Shouldn't I get you that?
That's what Joe does.
I'm like, sure. And I feel like I get home and I'm like, I feel like I blacked out. I don't know. I don't know how I got all this stuff, but this is one that I love. It's by a company called, I'm gonna get it wrong. It's TNT ironing boards or ironing products. The label's underneath and I can't quite see it. But it's a big board. So it's, I think, 48 by 20 or 24.
Yeah.
And they make one that's bigger, but it's mounted with these wooden, I don't know if I can get the camera to see it now. It's got these wooden latches that mount it to the top of a Metro cart. The metal like baker's racks. And so it's mounted and it's on wheels. Everything in my sewing room is on wheels. And it's mounted to a baker's cart, which is fantastic.
That's a fabulous idea.
I store everything down there, and they make a bigger one. They make one that is a little bit taller, but I'm 5'4", so
You don't need it.
Tall. Taller is not good for me. But they also make like a little square one and a travel. My earring is hitting my speaker. Sorry about that.
That's okay, honey.
And like a couple of different travel size boards and they're fantastic. And it's on like finished plywood. It's not on MDF or anything that's going to swell or chip or anything. And you can get a lot of different cover colors.
Yeah, I saw Tiffany. She redoes hers every period. Few months, it seems like. She does a fabulous job. Does Amy like batiks? Is one of the questions.
I love batiks. I have an entire king size hand pieced English paper piecing 1-inch hexagons.
God love you.
It's actually right over there. It's waiting to go. I'm gonna box it up tomorrow and send it to Missouri Star to be quilted.
Are you kidding?
And I've been working on it for 12 years. Wow. I kid you not. I've been working on it off and on for 12 years.
Tracy at the Sewing Channel did a sewing card too. Let me see if she's in. Let me see. Oh my, I have to make one of those Mickeys. I've got that. Susie Gabbard, right. Sewing Channel. That's Precious granddaughter. Yep, absolutely. But I really believe Tracy made one of those for her sewing room. Tracy, am I wrong? Janet Johnson, it's a stainless steel cart that is using a commercial kiss. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I remember Tracy setting up what we call the L, like you're working here and you're working here in her station, and her cart was movable, but I might be wrong. The one of those baking, that would be like every girl's dream right there. Pull it out if you've got to float your fabric behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So let me get to some of these questions.
Please.
I don't want to forget. I need you to show that hexagon quilt. I've got private questions coming in. I made those out of a manicure table on wheels. Okay, I thought you did. And I love the way she did it. But I love the way that we all support each other. Together we grow. But you got to show me that quilt. I'm jonesing, and I've got subscribers here that's like private messaging me. Yous are gonna get busy and forget. Can we see it now?
You bet.
Yep.
Let me.
You ask and we shall receive.
I've got a bad hip, so I'm gonna hobble over there to get it.
You take your time. I think any quilter has a bad body part.
And I'm kind of pinned in with the lights.
That's okay. That's okay.
Let's see.
If anybody wants to know what I'm doing, I'm squaring 1,000 HSTs while we're talking. Tiffany and Scott made her ironing board. I wasn't sure if they bought it that way or made it, but I'm telling you what, I love it. If I had the space that others have, I would definitely be doing it. Amy DeMint, your lipstick is popping, girl. I love that color on you.
Thank you. Here's my
Holy
hexies.
goodness. And you hand did every block of that?
Every last one of them. 3,600 and some odd.
God love you is all I got.
And I stopped because I was like, I'm done. I want to be done. And I put a border on it so that it will fit the bed. I'm going to throw this back here over this.
I'm telling you what, that is beautiful.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Marie Jones, yep, she's a cutie and gets whatever I am able to give her. Absolute. Tracy's got such an adorable grandbaby. 1,000 HSTs. I think she said 3,500 plus HSTs.
Yes.
So yeah.
Hexies.
Anybody want her to make hexies for you? No. She's burned out at the moment.
People
She's like
me,
over it. I have a hexie jar here, and every time I make a quilt or work a project, if there's just enough fabric, I'll make a hexie out of it. And I have a jar
I may
of
never
hexies.
make another one.
I have a jar of hexies, and someday I'll have a memory quilt of all the projects. But I can tell you, I won't sew that quilt. I'll have it sewn.
Yeah.
I don't hand.
I started it as something to keep my hands busy, and now I'm done with it.
Yeah, it's one of those.
But I'm really excited to have it finished by the end of the year. So.
Oh my God, I can't imagine. So does Missouri Star quilt all your quilts, or
no? I have a long arm, and when I can,
specialty send out.
Yeah, and it's enormous. I had to buy special backing fabric because it's 110 inches wide. So I had to order 116-inch backing fabric.
Yeah.
And which I didn't even know there was a thing. And I was like, I don't want to piece.
I wouldn't want to piece that background.
So I'm sending that one out. It's
absolute.
And I was going to finish it all the way. People ask me, how many hexagons did you make? How many does it take? And I said 4,268. And they're like, ha, no, really. I'm like, no, really. 4,268. I counted.
Yep.
And then I put the borders on it because I was like, no, we're done.
I'm done. I would have been done it like the first 5 or 10.
Well, there's a reason it took 12 years.
Yeah, I can make a hexie all day long. Now to put them together, I'll hire out. Wow, Amy, that's gorgeous. Teresa Louise, I would love to have a big ironing board like that. Put it on my wish list. I'd like to have a big house to put that big ironing board in. I'm telling you what, I have to use my fold up and I slide it here and it works for an ironing board. It works for a desk. It works for whatever my needs are. I like that. I did not know about the wheels on them. Now I like that idea because that would slide under my long arm.
I do have a large-ish room now, but I haven't always. And so everything's on wheels.
I started on a dining room table.
Yeah.
So I think most of us did. Let me see. Everybody's telling you how beautiful. I can't imagine doing that quilt. Absolutely not. What are the HSTs for? I am so close to finishing up month 7 of the crystal star blocks of this sew along with Becca. So if I can get all of my HSTs made, my goal would be to do the final 6 blocks, and then I'll be ready when everybody else is to Thank you, Jesus. Finish this quilt. Where do I find a pattern for the Mickey quilt, Amy? Janet Johnson.
Donna knows.
Yeah. Delia, can you drop the link, please? Or maybe Teresa Louise. I'm not sure if Teresa has it. I know Delia might. I got the pattern off of Etsy,
Mhm.
and it's a PDF download. And you just pull from your scraps and meet us at the table. I'm telling everybody, it's going to be a fun sew. Amy, if
It
you want
is
to
fun.
join us, you are welcome to join us. You can walk us through your tips, tricks, and strategies along the way. Feel free. I just think it's
Candy,
going to be a blast.
Candy, yes, it was EPP. It's English paper piecing. And I
Yeah.
didn't do glue. I stitched them. I thread basted them all because it was, I started it before gluing the, after how long I've been working on this project. I started it before gluing the hexagons was a thing. So it's all
wow.
thread basted.
How long did it take you to pick all of that paper out?
Oh, I just did it as I went.
Oh, see, I've heard people say, no, you don't pick until it's done. I'm like, what?
I did it as I did it like I would put them together in small blocks like this and then join those blocks and take out the ones in the center. You know, pull out the pieces in the center. As long as the one on the edge has paper in it,
you're
fine.
good.
Yeah.
God love you. So how did you get started quilting? How did the quilt bug bite you?
PBS a billion years ago. I'm not kidding. I come home from school and watch Eleanor Burns on PBS. I'm talking over 30 years ago. And I was, 15 or 16. I was like, I want to make quilts. And I grew up in the South in Marietta, Georgia, which is a suburb of Atlanta. And so quilts are a real part of our heritage. And so I had always seen them, everywhere. Right. And watching Eleanor Burns and quilt in a day, I was like, "Ooh, if I can make a quilt in a day, I can do that."
I'm all in. Yeah.
And I'm like, "Girl, how are you making a quilt in a day, Miss Burns? I don't know how you do it."
Exactly.
Like, oh wait, you got like a team of people or something?
But see, no. I thought she had a team of little elves behind her working this
right. But no, I mean, and so I learned to quilt from Sue Hausman and Eleanor Burns and all these people. I mean, we're talking before Fons and Porter were on.
Oh, wow.
And before Alex Anderson was on and all of those. But I mean, those are all fantastic, great teachers. And I, learned so much from all of them.
I think that's great.
So I started that.
One mentor that you could say has mentored you in your quilting journey, who would it be?
Eleanor Burns.
Absolute. She is amazing.
She's a delight.
I love it when she gets right over her head.
Yes, I do that. I do that to this day. I'm like, throw it on the floor. There it goes behind me. And it's all cut up in my chair. And I'm like, it's
Yep, I'll get it later.
But her entire philosophy of it should be fun, and if it's not fun, don't do it.
Exactly.
That's really.
I think that's a win-win for all.
There are so many. Bonnie Hunter is, and I've watched so many people, and it's something, Donna, that really inspires me about the work that you do. Is you are always one to champion other YouTubers, other creators, other pattern designers. That is like your heart's work, is to share everything. And, I've watched you. We all know those people who like here, and there's nothing wrong with commerce, but here, I know how to do this thing. Come and pay me and I'll teach you how to do this thing. And they're not going to give you any information unless you're paying them to do it. And I don't understand it. You know, I grew up watching quilting on PBS, which is free.
Right.
I, you know, have watched Angela Walters and Bonnie Hunter and Jenny Doan and Kimberly Jelly build empires, giving away the knowledge they have
Yep.
and sharing it with other people and saying, let me teach you how to do this.
Because when we
And
leave this world, our legacy is all we're leaving.
yeah,
All of this material stuff will never go
it's
with.
just stuff. It's just stuff.
Yep.
And I mean, you know, I find that inspiring. I find that people who freely give knowledge and share knowledge and just, I mean, sure, it's like Bonnie Hunter writes books and patterns and does the tours and wants to sell her products.
Right.
But that's secondary to, I want to teach you to love quilts and quilting.
Mm-hmm.
And it, you know, I don't know. I think that, you know, it's what they treat is true about, you know, an open hand. You have to have an open hand. Things
Mm-hmm.
have to be able to flow out so that things can flow
Absolute.
in.
Absolute.
And so
It's like a
anyway,
free
that's
spirit.
those are the people, those are the kind of people that inspire and continue to inspire my quilting journey, is the people who are like, hey, come along, let's all be in.
Let's build this community.
Yeah.
Tracy Louise, thank you for sharing the pattern. Watched Eleanor Burns back, and my husband said it sounded like she's teaching cats to sew. Absolutely. And she can really wrangle them. Joe, do you want to do a giveaway tonight, honey? Yeah, he's going to set us up for a giveaway tonight. Gwendolyn, hello. Well said, Amy. Completely agree. Yes, Amy, that is Donna. Her channel is for all quilters. She loves to teach and cares for all of her subscribers. Absolutely. Without our subscribers, we have nothing. And Joe and I, we believe in giving back 100%. What are we going to do? Okay, I'm sorry, honey.
I'm
Number
hand quilting. If I make a face every now and again, it's because
17.
needles are sharp and I've stabbed myself. So
Yeah,
just
the other
ignore
day I was grabbing for Band-Aids. I kept sticking myself. Agreed. Quilting has always been about sharing knowledge. That's how it was passed on generations. Absolutely. I grew up on a Disney Channel and Nickelodeon. Susie, you will like Eleanor Burns, guarantee you. So let me see. Are you pretty much self-taught how you
Yeah.
honed your skills?
Yes, very much
It
self-taught.
was like home economics bug got you and then you took off, or?
Well, I tend to be very mechanically minded. And so when I see how something's put together, I'm like, oh, okay, I can fix it. I can do that. I can do that. I understand how it works and I can just go and do it. And it makes sense to me. I used to teach knitting at a shop in Marietta, and I would teach the beginners and they'd be like, well, oh, how long did it take you to learn to knit? And I was like, please don't ask me that. And they're like,
30 hours.
what do you mean? And I was like, well, I read it in a book and it made sense. And then I did it. And they're like, well, no, really. I was like, no, really. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's just the way my brain works. But you know, don't ask me to paint something and I can't whistle. So I don't know.
I love the way you said that.
So I don't know. Everybody has their, you know, their things that work for their brain, and making stuff just I get it. It makes sense.
Okay. Joe said to give away, he is ready to start it. So it's going to be exclamation salty.
Salty.
Yeah.
Tracy Strobel, I love what you said. She says, my first quilt back in 1989 was Lover's Knot by Eleanor Burns. and haven't stopped since. We are leaving a legacy of love in every stitch.
That's
Oh,
the
that's
truth.
the goal.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
If one person learns one thing about quilting and falls in love with it, then I believe our job is done, you know? And I love the camaraderie. I love the friendships along the way.
Mhm.
I have met people that I would never have met in my lifetime, Joe and I. We've made lifelong friends. And we've started a business through quilting, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's crazy. We retire from our 9 to 5s and we work harder now than we ever did. But
But
we're
it's the
enjoying
best,
it.
right?
This is the best.
Yeah.
We can work in our PJs. We answer to no one but ourselves. Well, I
I
answer to
just
him.
I just watched a reel on, I don't know, whatever the reels are on. Is that Instagram? I can't keep up.
I can't.
But
I'm
it
not.
said, it was to that effect. It said, you know, people say, "Oh, find something you love and you'll never work a day in your life."
Yep.
He says,
My
"I think
mama
that's
used to
he
say
says,
that.
I think that's wrong. You find what you love and you work at it, you know, day and night, week after week, weekends, holidays, because you love it so much
Right.
that you're
And
so passionate about it that you want to do it all the time." And I thought
it,
that's a neat way to turn that on its head.
it really is.
True.
I mean, who would have thought COVID would have started the quilting bug in so many? You know, a lot of people didn't own sewing machines, and I'm one of. If someone would have told me I was going to sew a stitch, I'd have told them they were batty. The COVID got them. You know, no, that's not going to happen. And here we are 3 years later. Thank God for Teresa, Louise, Becca, Tiffany. I've learned so much from these ladies. Tracy over to Sewing Channel. I've got the best group of mentors. Then you sprinkle in all of the friends in my Sew It Seams group. Amy, you're going to have to come sit with us. I'll add you into that group. It's a
I'd
blast.
love to.
The link opens every morning and it goes till everybody's wore out. And it's just fun. And everybody picks projects to do. We sew, we share, and we learn every day. I can't remember a day that I haven't learned something from someone in that group. So it's just a big blessing. It's a surprise at Janet Johnson. Yeah, it's a raffle. It's a I have no idea what's in it. It could be scrap fabric, it could be rulers. Joe and I did a big clean out of the studio and
It's
I
Donna's
filled
garage sale.
bags. Yep, it's let me see. It's in Ziploc bags, so I can't really tell you. I can feel the zipper inside. So whatever it is, it's some kind of scrap fabric. If you win it, you don't want it, tell me and I'll pull another one. Save me the postage, mail and waste. My daughter-in-law just texted me photos of her cousins who I haven't met receiving a quilt I made for her. She was so surprised and asked why, because it was what we do, what I said. Absolutely. I think when you give a quilt, you're giving a part of yourself because every stitch you're putting your heart into.
Plus, you usually bled on it somewhere, so you know.
Absolutely. We got some blood, sweat, and tears in it, babies. You won't be disappointed, Janine says. I've been sewing for almost 60 years. Grandma taught me and I've always loved it. I did not like batiks. I'm the first one that'll tell you, nope, batiks was not in my wheelhouse. I didn't like them. I thought they were just like, ooh, who likes all that? Then Teresa Louise did the tiger with us, and I'm waiting to see that baby finished. As I was watching the different, all the movement in all the body parts coming together, and then the background, I was just blown away. So my Sew It Seams group and my husband has been sending me batiks, and I'm growing my stash, and I did the Vortex for legit kits as a tester, and then I'm turning around now and doing the Vortex again. I need to finish my blocks because I haven't done those. And I'm doing it in all shades of blue because I want to see how that blue spiral is going to turn out. So I'm not even laying them out in their groups of 4 yet to sew them together. I'm just, as I make them, putting them in their stacks because I want to be just as surprised as everybody else when I pin it to the board.
You guys with that paper piecing, I'm impressed because I did one block. I did one block for our guild, our Austin Modern Quilt Guild for their charity entry to what is QuiltCon. I'm like, what is the show for QuiltCon? I did one block this week and I had to rip out 2 pieces. I was like, no.
You need to come sew with me.
I have trouble turning shapes over in my mind, like turning, and so I'm like, oops, that one goes. That one needs to
right.
It's
If it
like
looks
cover.
like the
And
part's
like,
going
and I
this way,
tested it and I'm like, it works. No.
Yep, it never does. If it looks
did
like
not
the
work.
part's going to go to the right, you cut it to the left. Everything backwards. Think mirrored image. When it finally clicked for me, I was like, holy goodness.
That makes
Now
my brain hurt.
Beth over at Goody Goods created a monster. I'll never forget my Clifford the dog.
So it's Beth's fault.
It's all Beth's fault. Every bit of my FPP is Beth's fault. And I let her know that quite frequently.
I'm sure Beth's saying,
She
well,
had
you
me
are very
test.
welcome.
I never did FPP, and she wrote her first pattern, and it was Clifford the dog. Mine looked like it was handicapped. I didn't know what it was supposed to look like, and she goes, "Just trust the process. I'm doing everything. I'm on FaceTime with her, and we had to quit, but I went ahead and finished making the parts." And she goes, "Now tomorrow we're going to assemble it." And I said, "I'm telling you, he needs an ambulance. He looks ugly." Well, when we put him together, she goes, "Now what's he look like?" And I said, "Now he looks like a dog, but when he was all jacked up, he didn't." And she goes, "You have to make the parts." I didn't know what I was doing. And now I fell in love with the process. It to me is relaxing.
Oh, that's fantastic.
You can walk away and come back and just start, and you don't have to worry about what piece was I on.
Yeah, I'm really glad you enjoy it. Oh no, I dropped my scissors.
Oh no. I learned to paper piece from Donna and Tiffany Marie. It's been a blast. Susie, I learned from Donna. Amy, if I can do it, anyone can. Absolutely. Dahlia, you got one of the fancy little grippers. I agree, Dahlia. I have no idea what I was doing with FPP, and Donna walks me through it. I just love FPP. Donna, I remember your broken Christmas bulb. Oh my God. Yeah, I was learning how to FPP, and I'm not kidding. My Christmas ball was supposed to be like, here's the top of the ball and here's the bottom, and my ball was broke. I called Beth, and I was right on live, and I said, "Look, my balls are broken." And she goes, "It's okay, quilt it. That's your story, and we're sticking to it."
They're broken. They're broken. It's
like broken balls. It's okay.
It's like you have, because you have cats.
Yeah.
Right. Because you have cats or dogs, and they have.
Yeah, we have 2 dogs and a cat. It's okay.
Attack the Christmas tree.
Yep. Absolutely. I have 2 more blocks, Joe, and then we'll pull the giveaway, honey. I'm trying to hustle. So let me see. I've got a list of questions.
All right.
Do you work outside of the home, or do you?
I do not.
Lucky duck. Work time for quilting.
We homeschooled our children all the way through school, and kind of by accident.
That is a full-time job.
People are like, "Oh, well, you've got to send your kid to pre-K." I'm like, she's 4, and you want me to send her away for 8.5 hours a day?
With people you don't know.
I'm like, you want me to get up at 6 in the morning and like send her away? No. Yeah, we'll see. It's just pre-K. We'll see how it goes. And then they're like, oh, well, you have to send her to kindergarten. I'm like, really, I don't. And then we just got to having so much fun, and we liked the freedom of travel. And Casey worked, even then on and off, 20 years ago, yeah, on and off for at home, most of the time. So we were, I don't know, we just had fun. But that was I did that. And
That's cool. That sounds like it's a blast. JBR, it's Donna, I need that story. Broken bulb. I needed a laugh. You got it, girl. I kid you not. I still got the bulbs down here, and I'm gonna now that I've got a year of experience under my belt, I'm gonna try it, and then I'm gonna mail it to Beth. So when she opens it and it actually looks like a Christmas bulb that's not broke, she'll chuckle. I had red beans and ham, yummy. We're gonna go
they
ahead
talk about
and
food.
end this giveaway. I have 2 tonight. So as our numbers are going up, I'll go ahead and do the second one. Joe's ending the giveaway. So let's see who our winner is. I think I'll have a bowl of cereal now. I'm hungry. Thanks, Teresa Louise. At Shirley. I have no idea. At Shirley. At Shirley, please email us at handmadebying.com. Let us know that you're tonight's winner for number 17. I have no idea. She'll email us. So I've got you marked down. You email us, you get the package. If you don't, we'll give it away on Monday. Joe's laughing at me tonight. Congratulations, Shirley. Let me see. You have your own quilting room. What kind of sewing machine do you use?
Oh, I was going to move so you can see it, but it's behind the quilt. I have a lot of sewing machines.
What was your first? Let's go there. Let's take a walk down memory lane.
I had a Singer back when, in the Eleanor Burns days, just an old Singer, and traded it for Janome Memory Craft. It was still Memory Craft. It wasn't even Janome yet. Memory Craft 4000. I love the Janome machines. They're quiet. So right now I sew on the HD9, the straight stitch that goes really fast.
Right.
I was going to buy the Juki industrial straight stitch, the one that Donna Jordan uses, because it goes
yeah,
but I didn't like the stitch on it. And that was just me being super picky. But I'm like, if I'm gonna spend the money out, I'm gonna be super picky. And I also didn't know that Janome had a semi-industrial machine. So when I found out, and I was like, and this one's how much? And they're like, oh, it's basically the same price. I went,
okay.
oh,
Hold on 1 second.
You bet.
Shirley. Is this Shirley around to it?
Shirley I.
Okay, I won, but I'm in Canada. Shirley, I'll mail you a gift card. It'll be emailed. Please email me at handmadebying.com. I will email you a Fat Quarter Shop gift certificate. If you agree to that, that'll save me the postage and it'll save you the heartache on your end. I like to do my giveaways to where they're open to all. Thank you, Donna. What is your email? It's Donna at handmadebying.com. Teresa, thank you for catching that. What is your favorite sewing machine to use?
Mine, I like the speed and precision of the Janome HD9. I really enjoy it. And I like to sew fast because I don't have a lot of patience. And I don't have a lot, I have a lot of time, but I don't have a lot of time that I can spend sitting at the sewing machine because my body rebels. But I also have what is that one over there? The Pfaff QE Quilters Edition, I think number 4. It's the purple one, but it's
Okay.
great. If you run it at full speed for longer than 15 or 20 minutes, it makes a funny sound, like funny clunking sound. And I'm like,
Kind of like you need to stop it.
yeah. And I, told the service people about it. They're like, oh, we didn't hear that. And I'm like, did
Well,
you run
so
it
here
for
we go
15
for
minutes?
15
Did you run
minutes.
it? Did you run it at full speed for 15 minutes? They're like, oh no. I was like, okay. And so I was like, well, they say there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just gonna drive it until it dies, and then I'll do something different.
Absolutely.
And
Makes
but
sense.
it has the, like, when you if it's in needle down, the presser foot lifts up just like an eighth of an inch, so you can
Right.
turn your
Oh, I
pieces
like
underneath
that.
it. Oh, it's
Does it
very
have
nice.
any lift?
It does. I don't use it at the table that it's at, but with the hover feature, you don't need it because it does it on its own. And
Oh, okay.
I love that. But I use that when
Oh,
I need to zigzag something, or if I need to
absolutely.
sew a
Let me
curve.
see. Shirley, thank you. I would love that. That works for me, Shirley. I'll do a fat quarter shop. Email me and I'll do it probably in the morning. By the time I get off here, I'm always fried.
That quarter shop is right down the road from me. I mean, you can't shop there, but
Okay, I've got myself a note, so that'll be up here on my screen. So I will remember to do that in the morning because I know I won't get it done tonight. Gwendolyn, Hanks, Donnie, you're so generous. Joe and I, we believe in giving back. It's just who we are. If we've got it, we'll share it. So we're gonna do one more giveaway. Do what? You want to do that one over? Okay. Okay, Joe's gonna run the giveaway again. Ooh. I don't want to wait. I'm the post-it note queen. My friends will tell you. So
oh, I have to write everything down.
I love post-it notes, all color. I love everything about them. I don't know why. Weird, I know.
No, I love it too. And I like those little bitty ones, the little 1x2 or the whatever
And
those
I
are.
really like the ones that have sayings. I'm all in.
The only ones I don't like are the ones that don't stick. Like you peel it off and it won't stick. Oh,
Yeah,
that's frustrating.
yeah, but I'll still use it. I'll take maybe down. I will.
Just tape it
Yeah,
down.
go ahead, honey. The giveaway is back open, and we're gonna do it one more time.
Donna, do you have block lock rulers?
Yes, I do, and I love them. They
Let's
are
say
do I
that's the only way I'll trim a block.
when I used to trim without them, and I always thought I was dead on. Then I would make my pattern piece or whatever, and it was like a little bit off, and I was like, can I live with it or do I remake? Well, I'm a little OCD, so I would spend more time remaking. The investment in a block lock ruler is so worth it.
And they are an investment. Make
But
no mistake, they are an investment, but I would never trim a half square triangle block if I didn't have those.
no, and I can do the HSTs if I stack them on
Mhm.
my AccuQuilt. You can
Yeah.
put these on the 2.5
Hmm.
and run them through, and they're perfect. And I've done that before. I showed Becca how to
Oh,
do
I
that.
hadn't thought about doing that.
Yep, it works wonderful. You can
On
do
you just put it on your.
you just line it straight down the line, and you can stack them in stacks of 6.
I
And it
hadn't
just
thought
moves
about
them.
doing that
Yep, that's the way to do it.
because
But
I
I like,
love my AccuQuilt.
yeah,
Um,
it you get spoiled with it. I need to really use mine more. So it sits there and I dust it, and then I keep getting mad. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get rid of it. I don't have room. I don't have. No, it's not going anywhere. I just need to utilize it. So it kind of like, I don't know, has some amazing block. I have so many boards, and I just need to quit squirreling and get down to working.
And people say, doesn't it waste a lot of fabric? I'm like, well, it does if you do it the way they show you on their videos, but they're trying to sell you stuff.
Right.
And
It's about the speed,
I'm like, but it doesn't necessarily waste fabric. There are more efficient ways to use it. And then those,
Right.
the corners, you just pull those out and then you run them through that 1.5 inch square multiple die.
Exactly.
Cut
So
all
you
your
can
postage stamps.
I love a postage stamp quilt. What do you think about a strip roller? I have one and I don't like it, but that's my personal opinion.
Do you have
Maybe it's operator error. I don't know.
do you have the
Stripology.
Stripology?
Yep.
I love mine.
I just don't. I leave it sit
That's
behind me, so it looks pretty.
there you go.
I think it's just what you're used to.
That, and I mean, it's just a matter of what, like I say, what works for your system. I bought both of the, what is that one? The other, you can do the half square triangles with the slotted
Yeah.
trimmer, which is a genius idea, and I hated them.
Yep.
Hated it with the
You can
purple
do
patch.
the
And
Yep.
I was like, nope, gave those right away.
Yep. I've
Somebody
done that.
benefited.
I'll buy something, try it, and if I don't like it, it's in our giveaway. They come in sets, absolutely. Salty.
Don't you love seeing that?
Sets. Amazon has the set of 6 for $99. I can drop my affiliate link for them if anybody is interested. I have an affiliate link for Amazon, and I drop a lot of links with it on products that I dearly enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to drop 2 different sets. And they have a sale right now, so it's not just the link that, babe. This will take them straight to what they're looking for, honey. But thank you. This is the first one. If you want the small set, that would be the first link that I'm giving you. And that's a set of 3 for $52.88. Then if you want the full set of them, it's $99.89. And I honestly have all of them because I love them. They make quilting so much easier. So either set you find, see what works for you. Just see if it went. There you go. Giveaway raffles going for the subscribers. But this here, I mean, every one of them with a block lock, you don't have all the work's out of the way. I had a little cutting mat, but you have too many things in one little area. So I just take this little one and slide it around. Just as good if it had a wheel.
That little one's the best.
Yep.
I've got a video in mind of, like several tools tools I have that nobody needs, tools I use that you really you don't need. And a spinning mat's one of them. I bought the Martelli, well, Casey bought the Martelli spinning mat when we were at a show because he's like, oh, he likes toys. And he's like, this is cool. Won't you use this? I was like, Yeah, but it's like stupid expensive. And I mean, basically, if you have a smaller mat, you have a mat that'll turn. You just pick it up and
Right.
turn it.
Yeah, I'm not
It's not
above
that hard. It's not
labor.
that hard.
No, I have the great big pink spinning one, but it
Mhm.
takes up so much room, so I take it to my quilt retreats.
And if you get to the edge of it, sometimes it wants to flip on you.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've learned likes, dislikes,
Mhm.
taste for stuff. You can do a lot with a little. You
I
don't
learned to
have to
quilt
have it
with a
all.
pair of scissors and a piece of cardboard. So
Yep.
yeah.
I remember one of my patterns in my earlier days, I cut out coffee boxes to
Hmm.
make templates because it
Yep,
worked when we were doing masks. So why wouldn't it work for that, you know?
it does. Did it for
And
years.
then the more I'd watch other amazing quilters, Teresa Louise, Becca, Tiffany, Mom and Pop, I learned a lot. I was like, girl,
Well, I love it. There's a lot out there to learn, and there are so many different people. And
there is
people are like, it's the same information. I'm like, but it's not. Sometimes you hear something explained from someone in a way that clicks for
sense.
you,
Yep.
that makes sense for you, even though you watched the same a tutorial for the same like technique three other channels. You finally find the one that's like, oh, and they've
That
said that one thing that makes it work for you. And I think that's important. I think that
it is.
there's a lot of value in variety of teaching and learning methods.
I think
And I
so.
think there's room for everyone.
I do too. And just because you're not learning a technique from the person teaching it, if it's a technique that you really want to master and learn, go to another YouTuber's channel. I don't know how many
Mhm.
times I was trying to learn how to join my binding. Nothing was clicking, nothing. I was doing it like end to end. I was afraid to miter them in. I didn't know
Mhm.
how I was going to ever get them to where they would lay them funny looking ways is the way in my mind. Funny looking ways. I didn't understand the crisscross and I didn't understand the measurements. I was just like, what in the heck? Man, they're really pros. Whip stitch that baby in. And it took me a couple times of watching other YouTubers and I still couldn't get it. I was recovering from a surgery. And Tiffany come on, and I was sitting there watching her, and she had the camera at the right angle at the right time when I could understand it. And then I
Mhm.
was like, the light bulb moment. And it was amazing. And I was like, why did I make it so hard? And I was doing it to myself. It wasn't all the channels that I was watching. I did it to myself. I made it too hard. I put too much thought into it. Brenda, I'm disappointed. Why don't, wait a minute, Brenda, that's disappointing. Why don't you like it? Hold on, I gotta get back to Brenda's. Surely I got one and I don't like it. What did you get? I'm trying to catch up. I use my spinning mat all the time. Trying to find out what the girls are talking about. Let me get this last block and I'll go searching and see. Brenda, back up. Okay, Missouri Star has rollers that are supposed to sharpen your rotary blade. I just ordered two and I can't wait to see if they work. How about Select? I'm trying to figure out what was disappointing. Thought it dawed my blade. Oh, okay. You got it and it dawed your blade. Food for thought when you're ordering.
I'm gonna say two things about sharp tools. Number one, change your sewing machine needle. Change your sewing,
Not.
ladies, change your sewing machine needle. Like, if people are like, oh, you need to change it every 8 hours. Well, that depends on what you're doing. If you're doing paper piecing, change that sucker every dang day.
Yep.
But but I piece with the same color thread all the time for everything.
Yep.
And so I'll wind. I have 4 bobbins for my Janome, and they're giant bobbins. I'll wind 4 bobbins, and when I run out of bobbin thread, I change the needle and wind 4 more bobbins. And I don't have to think about how long have I been sewing. And change your rotary blade. A dull blade is really, really dangerous because you're pressing too hard. And in the grand,
Do you ever realize you don't realize how hard you got to push?
mm-hmm.
Or why is that mat not working right? It's not. You
It's the
didn't
blade.
change the blade. You
And
didn't.
in the scheme of what we spend on this hobby, rotary blades and needles are the cheapest thing you're going to buy.
Yep.
And they make the most difference in your quilting experience.
Absolute. We were all created with talent. That is the way God created humanity. Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, so I'll get off my high horse about sharp tools.
No, it's true. It's totally true.
Because if you ask a room full of quilters, how often do you change your needle? You know what they'll say?
What?
You know what so many of them will say? When it breaks.
Oh,
Like,
holy goodness.
please don't do that. Needles are really, really cheap.
And it's hard on your machine too.
It is.
Yep. You don't think so, but it really, really is. I use a 14-inch Fiskars rotating on top of a pink round Raleigh Blake rotating mat. Rotates so much smoother. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, I tried, but my fabric addiction won. Joe, are you ready to pull that one? Okay, you get 1 more minute and then he's gonna close the raffle.
Donna, I know you have a list of questions and I keep getting sidetracked.
It's okay. It's okay.
Waylaying you. So
it's okay. Not a problem. Have you ever taken quilting lessons or have you ever taught anybody how to quilt?
yes to both. I have.
Spill the tea.
I'm trying to think what classes I have taken. I said I've taken classes, but I'm sure I have. At shows or at. Oh yes, and with the guilds and things like that. I've taken classes. I tend to. I want to take the classes from Karen K. Stone and like Bonnie Hunter and the people who I've taken a lot of classes or sat through. I was one of the program coordinators for the Austin Area Quilt Guild for the past 2 years, and so I sat through a lot of classes,
Right.
even if I didn't do it hands-on. One of the best classes I ever audited, I suppose, was Jackie Gehring, who does the walking foot quilting. She's delightful and has a wicked sense of humor, but just super talented and has an education background. So she really knows how to convey and break down the steps of what she's doing to get you to do extremely complicated, complex quilting one tiny step at a time. She's really fantastic. And I've taught classes. Most of what I've taught or lectured is about time efficiency and time for quilting and how to maximize what you get done in the time that you have, because people 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 talk about less time or more time. I'm like, there's no such thing as less time or more time. There's just time.
Right.
Um,
Absolutely.
and then you'll hear people quip and they're like, you have the same 24 hours in a day as Beyonce. And I'm like, yeah, I bet Beyonce's not out there doing her own dang laundry either. You know,
Exactly.
I bet she's not cleaning up the accident the puppy had on the carpet.
And she's not doing her own toilets.
Right. Right.
I don't have a maid.
But there are ways to think about time that you just stop and think about it. Things like cleaning up your space. I know. I know. I said ugly words, but leaving your
You
space
got
ready,
to.
leaving your space ready to do the next thing.
Yep.
Because otherwise, and I'm not perfect at this. These are things that I practice, but I'm not, perfect at it. There was a whole week last week where I opened up the door to my sewing room and I went, and I closed the door and went and watched YouTube on the TV. I was like, I just can't face it right now.
I have to leave mine ready for tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, it makes a huge difference. Or, if you're working on a hand quilting or an embroidery project or hand binding, thread the needle. Thread the needle. And then when you sit down and you're like, well, I've only got 15 minutes. Well, it's ready to work. It's ready to go. You can get a lot done 10 minutes at a time.
Absolutely.
I'm looking at my overflowing scrap bins, which are on the wall behind the camera here, and going, oh, I need to process all of that. But there again, it's like, I'll set a timer. I'll do it for 10 minutes. And then
I know I'm better. I put them in scrap bags. And
yeah, and send it off.
Yep. I give it a new home. Okay, Joe, go ahead, honey. Thank you, sweetheart. So let's see who won this one.
Yeah, I'm the person people send off their scraps to. It's funny how you tell people in the guild, like, oh yeah, I'll take scraps, and boy, they deliver.
I have this fetish with all of the labeling on the quilt. I do all kinds of fun projects with them.
And you want the story on there. That's fantastic.
Yep. He's trying to get it to do it. Guess who, Nancy?
Congratulations, Nancy.
Miss Nancy, you'll have to email Joe at handmadebyying.com. Congratulations. Huh? What did I say? I'm sorry. I said she would have to email Joe at Donna at handmadebyying.com. Hubby's not feeling well tonight. So get these blocks squared up, and I think, Amy, do you have set days that you go live now?
I haven't gone live except tonight, which is super fun. I'm enjoying this. I am trying to establish a posting schedule, but it's we have 6 dogs.
Right.
And they're loud, and so I'm having difficulty figuring out timing for when I can film, like the talking videos, when I can film when it's quiet with everybody's schedule. So, but I'm aiming for twice a week, and I just committed to weekend update
Oh God, love ya.
weekend update videos because I've got a project that I was stuck on, and it's part of my accountability program is to
Sounds like
report back
Sean's
on
in your head.
what I've gotten done. So
Yeah.
that
Who's got you doing that?
that'll take the place of one of the videos, and I'm
So who's got you being accountable? Spill the tea.
oh, just me. It's just me. I've got a project. I've got these 4 quilts for my niece and nephews
Mhm.
that have been promised for over a year, and I got
Oh,
stuck on them.
cool.
And I so I have some tactics for getting unstuck on projects, and
Oh,
I'm employing all of them. I've got it all scheduled out. I'm like, okay, this needs to be done by here and now. And I've got sewing dates with friends so that I can be like, okay, well, I am absolutely going to work on this um, while we're stitching together. And but the accountability, the reporting back on YouTube, because I don't want to not have a video that
right.
says, hey, this is what I did. And I certainly don't want to get on camera and go, yeah, I didn't do anything. So
Yeah,
so the self-imposed pressure of reporting back, I think will
right,
help me get these finished.
right. Absolutely. I know. I try to stick to deadlines, but I fall short. I'm human. Donna, what number is this one? 17, Miss Nancy, 17. So you guys kept me company tonight while I managed to square up a zillion blocks.
I
And I
see all your
appreciate
little
that.
shreds there. That's so many blocks.
That's a lot of blocks. And I try to make sure that I don't get a lot of waste. So if the
Right.
pattern calls for a 3, I'll go, okay, 2 3/4, and let's see how close we can get. I just like the challenge. Call me crazy.
Just call you, right?
Yeah, just call me. Let me get these puppies on my pad. And I will be live again on Monday nights. It's going to be a blast. We'll do one more giveaway on Monday nights. And I'm doing Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays.
You
Because I've
you
got a lot of
are
product.
you
I've got a
guys are
lot of
so
projects.
busy.
Yeah. But it keeps you out of trouble. So they say. But I'm doing my legit kits on Thursdays. Friday is kind of laid back. Let's catch up. And Monday is always focused on projects, and we just started the just saying on Mondays, so that's going to be fun.
That was delightful.
It's going to get better this week if he's feeling better. Right now he's going downhill as the days went. So praying he's good. It's 17, Susie, is what I've got on the packet. Yeah, it looks like a 9, but it's a 7. Yeah, let me see. 17. Okay. I know
Susie
what you're
thinks it's
thinking, Susie. I know what you're thinking. Shirley won, but hers is going to
yeah.
be a gift card. So that's where your numbers aren't right. So moves. Thank you, sweetheart. I used that waste and put a dog cushions. That's what I have here. I have my little bag, and it makes it nice and toasty for them. Yep. It's all good, baby girl. Well, Amy, thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's been fun.
It has been fun. Thank you so much for having me and for being such a positive inspiration in the YouTube quilter community.
Oh, thank you. Anytime you want to come hang out, you got my number.
I sure do. I
And
sure
call me.
do.
I would love
All
to get you over into our So It Seems group and let you meet another group of amazing ladies. There's a lot of us content creators there too. So it's a good way to network and you'll get to meet some people. I forgot, are you going to QuiltCon?
I don't know. I'm working on this quilt. I've just started hand quilting right now. I'm gonna enter it, and if it's chosen, it's for the maximalism exhibit, and so it's not one of the judged. It's still juried, but it's not one of the judged categories. And if it gets chosen, then I'll definitely go. Right now, I'm still uncertain. So it's just a timing issue.
Oh, I get it. I get it. All right, guys. Everyone, you have a fabulous evening. Thank you so much for tuning in to Joe and I and Amy. We humbly appreciate each and every one of you. Take care. God bless, and I'll see you back again in the next video. Bye-bye, guys.